Latin Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Corona Beer, along with Central Customer Promotions, presents a heavyweight explosion. All bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Your chairman, Dr. Elias Garner, commissioners Dr. James Nave, Luther Mack, Bruce Lane, Nate Caselli. Your director, executive director, Mr. Mark Ratner. Your ringside physicians will be Dr. Bill Berlinger and Dr. James Gain. Timekeepers and counting for the knockdown, Jane Broadfoot and Al Bicek. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to get things started, 8 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. The man in charge is your referee, Mr. Kenny Bayless. Your judges, Bill Graham, Davey Pearl, and Cindy Barton. Introducing first, in the blue corner, he weighed in at 219 pounds. He has a professional record to his credit of 11 wins, 10 losses, 1 KO, and 1 KO. Introducing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, let's welcome William Morris and his opponent. He weighed in at 226 pounds with a record of 12 wins and 8 KOs. He's fighting out of Queens Village, New York. Let's welcome Ray Ennis.
I want to caution you to obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, good luck to both of you.
Couple of heavyweights at our heavyweight explosion. Should be interesting to see how a very good journeyman in the fact of William Morris, the Sugar Man, has been in a lot of our explosions. Will go up against Ray Ennis. Ennis, one of those early in his career, called one of the better heavyweights coming out of New York. He's kind of been toiling in obscurity as of the past few years, but trying to get his ship righted now at 27 years of age and a 12-0 record. And again, he'll be wearing the blue with the red, white, and blue stripes, while a solid black trunks worn by William Morris. A couple of buckets setting on the side. They got those out, and we're underway in round 1. Scheduled for 8. These are heavyweights, and a quick left hook there by Morris scores on Ennis.
I love this fight, Sam. I think we're going to really be in for a treat here today. We got a young prospect in Ray Ennis from New York, a very well thought of, several-time Golden Gloves champion against a double tough journeyman. I call him a journeyman, but he's just waiting to make something happen in the Sugar Man.
You see the good combination thrown by Ennis again. Leads with that good left jab and through the right across. Morris is very difficult to get out. He's also a guy that has had very few knockouts himself. The only knockout came on one of our explosions, number 1 in Atlantic City. That came back in June 26th of last year when he knocked out Paul Lockhart, but did it on an accumulation of punches, more than just one big punch. There's a good combination thrown by Morris. You can see that he does possess some good combinations, and Ennis that time got fed both of them as he backpedaled, trying to get himself in control.
This is really, it's a step up for Ray. He's got natural ability. He's heavy-handed, a big, strong heavyweight, and, to get a guy like William Morris out of there would really be a feather in his cap. On the other end of the coin, other side of the coin is the fact that Morris is planning on, Ray's really, a lot of his fights have ended early, and he's gotten tired towards the end of some of his fights. That's been the rap on him, so maybe he's going to try to conserve a little energy early here, so he'll have some later against William Morris.
Interesting enough, 6 of his 8 knockouts have indeed come inside the top first 5 rounds. 4 of them have come in the first round, none in the second, and 2 in the third, so he goes to work rapidly when he does end a fight by a knockout. Morris, one of those guys, like one of the heavy punching bags. You may throw a lot of punches, and he'll throw some right back at you. Ennis' last fight, he won in 8 rounds in Atlantic City, also on our heavyweight explosion show in October, beating Jimmy Huffman on that night. And the last opportunity for us to see Morris also winning over the other Carl Williams, as he came up with a split round, 8-round decision on that one in Atlantic City at Resorts in October of last season.
The crowd here at the Aladdin seen the Sugar Man before. He came out here and beat the highly touted Jewish Bomber here on one of the heavyweight explosions a few months ago.
There you see him kind of winding up with that big right hand of his. You see under 25 seconds to go in round number 1. They're set for 8 in the heavyweights. Morris again in the black, and in the blue trunks, Ray Annis undefeated with 12-0, and they're landing some big body shots here early.
Everybody likes to go down on Morris's body because because it looks like it'd be receptive to a shot. Oh, he got
He's
hit
in trouble.
with the right hand
He's
there.
in trouble with the combination, digging shots to the body there. Morris will survive the round as he throws a right as the bell sounds. Good opportunity to take a look at Ray Annis from Queens Valley in New York. Born in Brooklyn, New York, 27 years of age, 6'3", 226 for the fight today. As John Mandello is working with him in the corner. Also Jim Farrell, the manager. And Ed Quinn is over. Let's listen in.
All right? Huh? Take deep breath. Now pace yourself in there. That's what you got to do. See?
Don't wait on him. Beat him to the punch. Be first.
Pull it up.
Let's take a look at some of the early bombing going on. And you see that Morris is one of those guys that does indeed like to fire right back at you.
Really, what William Morris has got a real good work rate, and that's what he's got to pick up the pace here in this fight and stay busy like he generally is, Sam.
This is round 2 of an 8-rounder. Heavyweights. On the left is William Morris. On the right is Ray Annis. Annis again staying busy in round number 1. Actually backed Morris up and got him in deep trouble here right at the end of the round and captured the round. And officially in our cards, 3 judges will make the decision. We are on the 10-point must system here in Las Vegas with 3 judges doing the scoring. Excuse me, 3 knockdown rule is in effect in our undercard, not on the USBA fight. No standing 8 counts here in Vegas, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell with the exception of the last round in Las Vegas and Nevada.
And William Morris has got to shorten up the distance here, Sam. He can't stand here on the outside like this and let Ray Ennis use a good, strong left jab and let the right hand come behind it.
And he also can't let Ennis use that nice 4 to 5 inch reach advantage, 75 to 71, as we measured him out at the weigh-in yesterday.
You see a guy like Ray Ennis, he's got a complete package. He's got his good cornermen in there with him, and Jim Fennell, who's maneuvered the career of Alex Stewart brilliantly. He's a real boxing guy. He knows how to bring a fighter along, and he knows that this is a test, William Morris, and they're prepared for this fight.
By the way, if you look at William Morris and say, there are some similarities there, and then obviously the maybe the structure of the body may be the only similarity of Joe Frazier, but he does train in Joe Frazier's gym in Philadelphia. Just that prodding style, stays in there, bangs away with you, and just generally enjoys what he does.
I mean, if William Morris was blessed with the natural punching power of Joe Frazier, I promise his record would look a lot different than it does, but he's got the heart of Joe Frazier in that body.
By the way, what happened to Ray Ennis? He came out as a house of fire, winning the New York Golden Gloves, the Empire State Games when he was a youngster, 36-4 as an amateur, 30 by knockout. What happened to him now as he moves into his 27th year of in his life, and now here in professional boxing with a 12-0 record?
Well, I think that they're just, Jim Fennell, as I said, his manager, he's taking his time with him. You can't, if you rush a guy right in there and put him, in his last fight, he fought another undefeated prospect in Huffman, beat him. And, this exposure here on the heavyweight explosion is just what the doctor ordered for him. He didn't rush him right into anything with the advent of the Garden closing down their shows. He's had to seek work elsewhere, but he hasn't stepped the kid up too fast just to rush him in there and be able to say, hey, my kid's on television. He's a consummate boxing guy, and he's doing a good job. And as I said before, they know this is a fight between he and Morris today, and everybody's kind of anticipating it.
Couple of fights in 91 for Ennis. Then he was very busy with 6 fights in 92 and fought 4 times in 1993. In his first outing here in 1994 on the heavyweight explosion from the new Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good look overhead at our Corona Extra logo here in the center of what everybody's talking about, a 22-foot ring, but it looks much smaller than that. We thought, is it 22 inside the ropes? And indeed it is. These 2 heavyweights not using a lot of the ring. They're battling pretty much in the center of the ring here.
Yeah, the matchmaker Russell Pulse seemed to think that 22 included the press row.
Stay away from that right
This is Morris's corner.
Take your own place, I want you to use your fucking legs. You understand? Your own place, start waiting on this son of a bitch. Every time you stand, I'm going to your punching range.
Longtime trainer Gary Graham, and they're getting Morris
what I'm saying?
bumped up a little bit.
You need to get off every fucking minute. Okay. Every minute you stay there.
Combinations, right? Jab right here. Come back with the hook.
Okay.
Come back with that hook. Take a deep breath. Way up.
Stay in there sometimes.
Combinations, baby. Combinations. Punches.
So you can hear both corners rather rapidly getting their instructions in here between rounds as we head for the third. Third round of a Schedule 8 rounder. These are heavyweights. William Morris coming out in the black trunks. Ray Ennis in the blue. And as a matter of fact, Morris came back, Bob, and acquitted himself very well in round 2 after possibly losing the first and getting a little trouble at the end of round 1.
Yeah, I thought he shortened the distance up a little bit, but he's still Ray Ennis's corner telling him to finish with the hook after the 1-2, and that could be a devastating punch for him if he can connect with it. But Morris, his corner, I think that they were very aware of Ray's early punching power, and I think that they just wanted to pace themselves and not get hurt badly early. Try to get Ray out in that deep water where William Morris is a distance fighter. Every fight he's ever had, with the exception of 2, have gone the distance. So he's used to that.
Speaking of Ennis, we mentioned, of course, he does have the knockout power. Last 2 fights to Tim Noble along with Jim Huffman have been decisions, both going in 8 rounds. Prior to that, he'd had 5 consecutive knockouts and again has 8 of his 12 wins by the knockout route.
And we saw the Noble fight, which he had Noble down several times early, but was unable to finish him, and he got a little tired. But in the Huffman fight, he really paced himself well, had Huffman in some trouble, but Huffman was a guy of his own size and stature, unbeaten. It was really a good win for him.
So the mark of 2 decisions, winning in 8 rounds, is not necessarily a drawback on Ray Ennis. Maybe he's becoming a little more patient, becoming a little more businesslike, Bob.
2 nice left hooks by Ray Ennis. They're catching the Sugar Man on his way in. Saying, no, I don't think it's everybody questions. Nobody questions his punching power. They question his endurance, and so he's getting rounds under his belt, and a lot of it's mental. You get in there, hey, have I gotten my second win yet? And those are the kind of things that he's probably a little bit more comfortable with now coming into this fight.
The longest fight he'd been in prior to the last 2 had been only 4 rounds, winning 1 by a knockout and then having a couple of 4-round wins earlier in his career. So he is getting some more work here, and it looks like he's going to have a full day's work. Better have brought his lunch pail today, because that's what William Morris always does. He does not back up to a pay window.
Right, now you see right now there's no distance between these 2 fighters. This benefits Morris, although Ennis has made him pay on his way in. He hit him with some good left hooks and not just staying with the 1-2 to start it out. But Morris has shortened up the distance. This is where the only place Sugar Man can win this fight is in the inside in here.
By the way, there was some comment made that when these 2 guys started to get together that they may not need the 4 ropes around the ring, and you can see they're battling right on top of our Corona Extra logo throughout the entire duration of this, the 3rd round. And again, Morris will just try to walk in, and there he comes again. Ennis not able to keep him off as we come to the end of round number 3. And still, for the most part, a fairly even fight going on between Ennis and Morris on the Heavyweight Explosion. Nice crowd here at one of the largest of the theaters, the Theater of Performing Arts here at the New Aladdin Hotel. And the crowd filing in to watch this heavyweight explosion, featuring some of the up-and-coming young stars that may very easily have their chance at winning some world titles. Certainly Ray Ennis would have to fit right in that category at only 27 years of age. Morris is one of those guys that always comes on and gives you a good opponent evening, and certainly he's doing that right now. Good look at the Sugar Man.
Okay.
It's got to feel pretty good with that ice. Let's take a look at some of the early action in round number 3.
Those are those left hooks that Ray Ennis was able to catch, and here's another one. Caught Sugar Man coming in right on the point of the chin as he bum rushed him to shorten up the distance. He took away the jab right hand, but Ray adapted and used a nice short left hook.
And it's unofficially getting another round on our scorecard. This is round 4 of a Schedule 8 round heavyweight fight on the Heavyweight Explosion from the New Aladdin Hotel here in Las Vegas, Nevada on the fabulous Strip. As again, William the Sugar Man Morris on the right in the black, trying to challenge the undefeated Ray Ennis. Ennis at 27, fighting out of the Queens Valley in New York. 8 of his wins by knockout. He has shown you that good left hook, but has been unable to back up Morris all that much. And again, they continue to battle in the center of the ring. Morris doing a little backing up of Ennis here at the start of the 4th round.
Yeah. William Morris is working that body a little bit. They probably feel like those big guns of Ray's are out of the way, but you know, punching power isn't a thing that a guy loses after 2 or 3 rounds. This guy is heavy-handed. He's got those big soup bones, Ray Ennis, I mean, and you know, he's not going to lose that just because his record indicates that he doesn't knock guys out later in the fights. I think he's better conditioned for this fight and more prepared. But William Morris is pressing the action more here and working downstairs here in the 4th round. So.
Annis is somewhat content just to backpedal and try to counter off of whatever Morris is coming on. And would like to get William Morris maybe a little tired. I don't know if he knows him that full well or not, but William just does not get overly tired to quit, that's for sure.
No, and you can see the confidence building in William Morris right now. This has been the best start of any round thus far in the fight for him.
Wife Adrian, a couple of girls, Tiffany along with Dominique. What a lovely name. Tiffany at 2, Dominique at 6. So he's got a little something extra to fight for. Try to get a little extra cash in the kitty.
Yeah, Ray Ennis timed him with a nice right hand lead on his way in.
Russell Peltz, who helps schedule the fights for William Morris, looking on here in Las Vegas, traveling from his home in Philly. And the matchmaker for most of the heavyweight explosion fights, handled by Cedric Kushner, along with that of Malcolm Garrett, who also helps match some of the fights for Cedric around the world. Morris again loading up some pretty good shots here in round number 4. As you pointed out, Bob, this has been a good round for him.
Yeah, this is what he wants to do. You know, Ray's trying to hit him with the right hand on the way in, and then he's throwing 3 or 4 once he gets inside.
Morris again, as Bob pointed out, cutting the distance, getting right in on the chest where exactly he had to be today. Again with that reach advantage and height advantage, 6'3" to 5'11", so 4 inches in height and roughly 4 inches in reach advantage. But again, Annis has not been able to use the jab to keep him off, as Morris has walked right through it for the most part. And he'll finish right where he wanted to, right on the chest here at the end of round number 4.
Back with the other one.
So we're halfway through this 8-rounder, as both the fighters will be getting their instructions on exactly what they need to do. Morris, I guess, Bob, just keep on keeping on. And on the other side, Annis, try to get some punching distance. Use that jab, get him off. Let's go on that corner.
They make him do the leading. You got to do the leading. You know what I'm saying?
Baby, suck it up.
Here, come here. Wipe this up. Wipe this up.
Give me that towel, man.
Wipe this up.
Give me a towel, man.
All right. You see? Pat it. Don't switch. Give me the best thing. You got the best
You got
thing?
your second win now? Raymond, you got to throw in combinations. You're letting this guy take the play out of it.
That's
Hit
it.
this fucking guy when he comes into you. Stop letting him take the play, man. Be mean in there. Raymond, listen to me. You got to be mean in there.
Well, you plainly tell he had to get off first, and that's what he's trying to do, but Morris won't let him.
No, William Morris had a real good 4th round there, Sam, and they don't want Ray, as we see on the replay, Morris having his way with him and then going back down to the body.
Round 5 of an 8-rounder, and Morris wastes no time trying to pick up where he left off in round number 4. And Bob, you gave that round to Morris, and he may be trying to win another one on your card here.
No, I mean, you know, this is the ebb and flow of the fight here. This is what Ray Ennis didn't want to happen, and what Morris hoped to be able to do. He couldn't match power with the big New York heavyweight, but he got through those early rounds, and now he's trying to press him, and he's behind by a point on my scorecard at this time. But, you know, the ebb and flow of the fight right now, the momentum's in the favor of William Morris, and I think you could tell that by the tone in the corner of Ray Ennis.
By the way, we told you that Ennis had that great amateur career in New York. About on the other side, over in Philadelphia, amateur record 115-5 for William Morris, 5-time Philadelphia Golden Gloves champion as a light heavyweight. Obviously has gained a little since that time. And also in 1987 fought in the Nationals of the National Golden Gloves. So he has been around the block as an amateur, now 28 as a pro, and 11-10-1 as a professional.
what they wanted to do, what Morris's people, Gary Bram, I was spending some time with him last night, and I talked with Russell Peltz, who books him in a lot of his fights. The work rate of William Morris is what they felt would be the difference in this fight. He's just much busier than Ray, and barring him getting hurt early in the fight, which he did. Ennis did touch him pretty good at the end of the first round, but the bell saved him, and right now the flow of the fight is favoring Morris. There's another good left hook though by Ray Ennis, which he's found a home for that as William Morris walks right to him.
Interesting how well Morris has been able to rebound from, as Bob pointed out, a very, very devastating end. I would say the last, 25, 30 seconds of round number 1 was not his at all. He was in trouble right above us on the ropes. One of the first times he's had to lay on the ropes to regather himself. Ray Ennis being able to land the combinations, but since that time, Morris has come back maybe with an even second round, lost the third, but came back in the fourth on our unofficial cards and captured that round with a good combination and just a charging style. Ennis, you see, trying to get off a little more first to try to back him up if he can.
He started again with that hook. He knows that he wants to throw that hook on the way in, but there's a little holding going on. Both men struggling for position on the inside, but Morris, he's got that experience. The inside is his territory. Ray wants him on the outside.
See how Morris stays a little busier on the inside because that's a little more familiar territory to him. Throws the uppercuts with the left and the right hand. And lands a pretty good combination here at the end of the round. This will make an impression with the judges as he finishes out round 5 with some excellent punches. Well, looking at Ray Ennis as he comes back to his corner, he actually looks a little frustrated, Bob, in the fact that this guy just won't go away. He stays right in his face.
Well, I'm sure that if they check this guy's record, they'll know that he doesn't generally go anywhere.
Suck it up. Suck it up. Suck it up, Ray. Ray, he's open for right hand all day long, man. All day long. Jab. Right hand back with the hook all day. All day.
Come on,
Let's switch corners here.
Wipe my face, Josh.
Give that grease.
Just try to keep him in the fight here.
All right, come on, go. Yeah.
Come on, you gotta get off first, big. Stop waiting for him.
Let's go.
So the instructions given. We head for the 6th. They're scheduled for 8 rounds are these heavyweights. William Morris, who comes out, if you'll excuse the nickname again, the Raging Bull somewhat. The Sugar Man coming across the ring to meet Ray Ennis. Ennis, as you heard in his corner, they want him to come back and see if he can't land that right hand in this round.
This is the distance that he wants, moving around the perimeter of the ring, not on the ropes, using that power jab of his. I mean, he's got a poleaxe at Ray Ennis, and he wants this distance between the two of them, but he's got to use when Morris gets on the inside, he's taking away the jab. Now here he's got the jab, he's got to throw it there. Nice two nice jabs, get the range, and then drop the right hand.
Good down to the body with the right hand and a left hook that just came off the shoulder and glanced off the chin that time of Ennis. William Morris at 219 pounds, kind of like comes at you like a snake. He closes that distance fairly well for a guy that size.
Yeah, for a guy his size, he's quick as a house cat.
There you see it again, just combinations. Ennis just trying to use the jab to keep him off. Right hand is just kind of laying on the chest right now. He hasn't used it.
And you see Morris using the body feints. He's not just walking in to the power of Ray Ennis with reckless abandon. He's feinting his way in. He's leaving setting little traps out there, Sam.
Made mention of the family man of William Morris. Ennis is single but does have a daughter, 2-year-old Jasmine.
Mouth wide open. Ray Ennis here in the 6th round.
And again, still trying to figure out Morris.
But he has kept the distance. He has kept a nice distance between the two of them in this round, but he's just been pretty economical with his punches.
I would say a good way to lose a round, though, is to do what he's doing right now, Bob, just not throw any punches. Morris has landed some punches and is the aggressor. And a lot of judges will look on that very factor as one of the things that help them score there on their cards.
Yeah, Ray's going to hear it from his corner again. You know, they know what this kid can do, and they just want him to do it. You know, they want him to step up there, step in with that jab, not so much, you know, back up and flick it out there. He's taking the power off his own jab. See there, he dug his toes in and he threw a good jab, got Morris's attention.
Flipping left jab by Morris that he tries to follow right in behind it. One thing he doesn't throw it in. He just kind of lowers that shoulder and comes right at you and then throws it on the way in. There he comes with that lowered right shoulder, then throws it from about hip level as he closes out the 6th round. And if Annis wanted to coast, he did in the 6th. Well, even William Morris acknowledging the crowd as being one of his better rounds, even though he didn't load up and land as many big punches as he wanted to. He was the one that was a little more active. And now, of course, talking to his corner saying, you know, what round is it? We're at it. Are we doing okay?
Kushner Promotions Heavyweight Explosion. Just like to let you know that a lot of things are going on.
You got the right hand all day. Stop backing up and running away from that. Hands high. You're letting him hit you with shots that you shouldn't
Right here
get.
at the theater
Right.
in Commandant,
You gotta do the
February
thing, you
18th,
understand?
20th.
You gotta do the
One
fuck
show on
thing.
Friday,
Move around.
2
Don't dance
on
around
Saturday,
somebody.
and 2
Stay in there,
on
stop
Sunday.
fighting.
You
Body
can get
punches.
tickets at Ticketmaster
Right?
as well.
Man,
And
you're
box
losing this fight.
office
You're
right
losing this
here
fight.
at the
You understand me?
Hotel.
You're losing this fight.
And here we have him. He's on the rope. He steps forward with that jab. That's what he's got to do. You plant that front foot and you step with that jab. That was a perfect example, but it was the only time really he did it in that round. He was backing up jabbing.
This is round 7 of a Schedule 8 rounder. Interesting enough, as we score it unofficially here at ringside, and with our scorecard at about $1.50, you can get a cup of coffee anywhere in Las Vegas, Nevada as well. The judges will score it. We have a dead even after 6 rounds here, with Morris along with Annis all tied at 58 all on our unofficial cards.
We knew this was going to be an interesting fight, and here it is, 2 rounds to go. It's anybody's fight.
You heard, of course, over in Morris's corner saying you have to stay busy or they're going to take it from you. So the guy with a 12-0 record may get a little preferential treatment. If he doesn't get any busier than he did in round 6, he's not going to have a prayer of winning this one either.
No, he's been through that before too, and you fight a bunch of undefeated fighters. Sure, I mean, it's just people see, some guys going in one direction, one guy's going in another, but that's a small intangible aspect of the scoring.
By the way, in the form of William Morris, Purdy ain't necessarily better because he is nothing pretty about the way he fights. He just comes to labor, and that's what he's done. Another pretty good left hook. He's landed that pretty regular on Ray Ennis today.
Yeah, it's evidence underneath Ray's right eye. He can't wrestle with Morris on the inside. Morris is way too experienced on the inside from him. He's got to step to him right there with that jab, or that left uppercut will work too, but he's got to let it go.
Bob, is there something wrong with Ray Ennis's right hand? Have we not seen that thing today?
I'm not sure. I don't think. I mean, we'll never know till afterwards. But he has been pretty economical with it in this fight.
Just absolutely has not thrown it, even though from about at least the 3rd round on, they've been imploring him over in his corner to please throw the right. It's there all day, they say. And there's the first time that he's in. He tried to club it. There's another right hand, and they're right. It's there. There's another one. There's another one.
And it's putting some welts on William Morris's left side.
Morris realizes that he cannot let him have any distance to load up on that right hand because he felt it about 3 straight times from Ennis. But again, that's about the only times he's been able to put 1, 2, or 3 right hands together.
For the first time,
another one.
Ray was able to land that without being on the outside. They were inside exchanging punches, and he was putting a nice short right hand there on the side of Sugar Man's head. So, and there's a nice combination on the inside by Ennis also. He's coming back in this round.
They talk about the game of golf. If you miss a putt by an inch, it's still a miss. Just the game of inches in boxing, because as Ennis takes just a short step backwards, we're talking 2, 3, 4 inches, he's able to get just a little bit of that punching power, and that's how that right hand has been landed. There it is again. Just a little short step backwards by Ennis, and he's able to throw those punches, and he's landed with the right hand and has maybe come back here in the 7th, but Morris is laboring on and will not let him have any advantage.
Yeah, but this has been a good round for Ray Ennis. He's put himself back in this fight, and he needed to. He needed to stop William Morris.
Now the crowd really starts to warm to it because they too feel how close this fight is starting to get. William Morris. Conversation going on in that corner.
This is
Eric Draymond, the man working inside the ropes with him there.
Let's give them both a round.
I don't believe I've seen an ice bag quite used like that before, but they're doing the job in the corner. Let's take a look at Morris as he continues to work and see if Annis is able to counter off anything. That's a loop that just missed.
Missed a looping right hand, but brought it back down to the body. And here's those right hands, one. And then he pulls his head back and lands another one right there on the side of William Morris's head. His two best punches of the round.
There you see him just screaming at him to throw that right hand. And they know that it's up for grabs in this, the 8th and final round of the heavyweight explosion. The last gesture of any friendship in this fight, in this 8th round, will be right there as they touch up gloves. And this is it, the last 3 minutes. Bob, how about the last round? You ruled it as an even round. I actually gave the round to Annis a little bit. So I've got him leading by a point. You've got it still dead even as we go to the final round. It's just that close.
I'm crawfishing there a little bit, Sam, because I know both guys here are giving it their all. And you know, even though one's an undefeated prospect and the other's a journeyman, you got to love both of their, letting it all hang out here on the heavyweight explosion.
And you know Morris, now he's getting fed that left jab a little bit. Let's see if the right hand by Annis is able to be as successful as it was the last round. There's another right hand. Caught him right on the button. Willie Morris walked almost right through it, though.
Yeah, a nice 1-2, though, by Ray Ennis, nonetheless. And there it goes again.
Bob pointed out that little puffiness under the right eye of Ray Ennis has been the left hook that Morris has been able to successfully throw all day long today. Morris now having a little trouble getting to Ray Ennis as he's backing up. He's going to have to stand and fight sometime along the way here. And as you see, we're under 2 minutes now of this, the final round.
Another good 1-2 by Ray Ennis here in the round, but the Sugar Man gets down and hits him with a good solid left jab to the body, trying to get his distance set. He's walking right to him. Look at that determination in the face as he tries to loop a right hand, which he hasn't been successful with that with Ray. Ray's rolled that all day. Morris has kind of won the crowd over for him a little bit here. A little funny looking guy like this. People see him standing up to a big monster like Ray Ennis, and they get behind him a little bit.
You know, it's very difficult. We call so many fights, certainly here in Las Vegas, kind of looking over at the three judges, and you talk about poker faces. They don't give us any indication how this fight's going right now.
Ray Ennis knows he's got to win this round right now, and I think he is winning it. Morris hasn't really, other than a couple of body shots, landed any significant punches in this round, whereas Ennis has been able to hit him with a couple of good 1-2s.
You know, this is just one of those type fights, Bob, that one punch. Now they're going to take a brief timeout. Apparently some tape on the glove here of Ray Ennis is going to be repaired. Back to my point, though, one big punch, either from Morris or from Ennis, not that it'll end it, but it all of a sudden gets a guy backpedaling. It gets a guy for an opportunity to get 4, 5, 6 punches in, and that could be just what's needed by these judges to kind of turn their scorecards one way or the other.
Really, and that's got to favor Ray Ennis because he's really the guy with some mustard, with some power in his punches.
So as they've stopped for a moment, Eddie Bayless says, let's go again, and here they go. And you can see they're not going to have any non-productive activity here in the last 1 minute of this fight, as both of them realize they are just that close, and look at them wailing away here.
Stop punching.
Morris again. Oh, they both just exchanged right hooks that time. Ennis pushing him away. He knows he's got to get a little room to punch, and here he comes.
For the first time in the fight, Ray Ennis is fighting with William Morris on the inside and doing well at it. He knows this fight is up for grabs, and this undefeated record on his slate is up for grabs, and he's showing that he's got the kind of determination. He knows William Morris, on the other hand, he's in there digging, trying to bring this home to Philadelphia.
Who wins it? It's coming down to these last few punches, and there's the bell to end the 8th round, and this one is over. Wow, what a fight tonight. I got to be honest, I gave Ennis the last round on my card, Bob, and I think that's probably going to be, I give it to him by a couple of points. I think that gives him by a point on your card. It's just that close, though, as William Morris really took it to him early on. In trouble in the first round, but came battling back to battle right to the end to Ray Ennis here in this heavyweight explosion fight.
Got this, man. Number one, we back.
Good look at William Morris as he waits the decision as the cards are being collected by those at ringside. Ray Ennis on the other side. I tell you what, one of the rounds that may have been his undoing. Remember back to the 6th round where he kind of coasted a little bit, and Morris really kind of got a pretty good advantage on that round, I thought, Bob.
Yeah, he coasted, and he did. William Morris won that round big, and in his own mind, he thought, hey, I'm the boss now. I've taken over this
Ladies
fight.
and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scored 78, 79, 78 for the winner, Morris.
Whoa, Morris is going to...
Morris. William Morris.
Did he have that